Welcome to a brand new episode of Sequel Rights, the podcast where we take a look at the franchises that make you go, they made how many of those? We give each and every sequel a fair trial. My name is Justin Camps, and I'm here with
Elizabeth Helly
and
Tyler Hymanson.
And we are here continuing our coverage of every single sport this dang dog wants to play. We're talking Air Bud Spikes Back this week, where he may or may not play volleyball. We'll see. We'll get to it. And I'm very excited because we have a very special guest this week. The actor who plays Connor, Tyler Boissonnault, has joined us for an interview to talk about his time filming Air Bud Spikes Back. I can't wait for you to hear it. But thanks for being here with us on this 14 film journey.
Yes.
We're just about to say goodbye to the main
well, as far as
thread.
we know, I don't know. He might
the main thread of the thing, but
appear.
you know.
The movies are no longer named after him.
That's right. We move kind of into the spin-off sequel things going on after this, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that next time. Okay, we'll get to that next time. Right now, we got volleyball to play, and we'll talk about that about halfway through the episode. Anyways, before we get too far into things, Elise, where can people reach out?
You can email us at sequelrights@gmail.com or find us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at Sequel Rights. Been getting some good comments on the YouTube videos and some views and downloads there, so be sure to check it out.
And rate and review us wherever you're listening. 5 stars goes a long way to fueling the algorithm for world domination for Sequel Rights. And that's what we're all about here. Domination.
Air Bud takes over the world.
First, we need to steal the jewel.
And I shall spread my super sports gene to everyone.
I totally forgot about the jewel.
How could you forget that?
I don't know.
Okay, well, are you guys ready to do this? So let's see what happens.
Let's play some volleyball.
There we go.
Yeah.
Let's play some volleyball. Trailer time.
Air Bud is back in an all-new adventure.
Okay, everybody, Buddy is in the game.
Since their backs are turned, the jewel will be ours.
The diamond has been stolen.
The town needs a hero.
Buddy's here!
Thanks, Buddy. That's wild, man. That's wild.
Air Bud Spikes Back.
Oh my god.
So many sound effects. Oh boy. That trailer was short, but not short enough. Well, here we are. Air Bud is spiking back yet again. Did he ever spike initially?
No.
Okay, so Tyler and I were having dinner with some friends, and you were not there a couple of weeks ago.
Indeed.
And we were explaining to them the Airbuds, and then we both realized, and then we were like, we have to stop talking about this. We have to talk about it on mic, because is this the first subtitle of these films that is not actually a dog pun?
Yeah.
It's a volleyball pun. It's a movie pun, but it's not a dog specific pun. Spike could be a name for a dog,
but not in this
not
movie.
Always.
Yeah,
That's true.
And also, famously, this dog's name's Buddy.
Yeah.
And they do have a dog-based volleyball joke later on in the film, but they don't use that when he's like, oh, he's going to be a good setter. And
Yeah,
like,
a setter. It
should
should have been something having to do with maybe, but even then, it's not him.
It's because it's too complicated, that one, I don't think.
What about,
But they didn't cut it from the movie.
Yeah.
Seventh inning. Well, yeah, the movie.
Seventh
it
inning
makes more
fetch,
sense.
so that's for
Yeah,
dogs.
yeah.
World
Yeah.
Pup, obviously.
Yeah.
Golden Receiver is probably the pinnacle of this train of thought. But Spikes Back is not about dogs.
It's not.
And this was the point of the dinner where I was like, I think that we're the people that have thought about this the most.
Yeah,
and that
you're like,
includes the people that
ever.
named these movies.
Like, I need to take a step back from this conversation. I sound crazy.
I apologize to anyone that was eating at whatever that place was called. Finney's.
Cafe
yes.
Gratitude. I'm kidding.
Across from the AMC Burbank.
Yes.
Not to tell you where we
Yes.
hang out,
Yes.
but you already knew that.
Yeah, look for us by the Batman statue.
We love to go to Finney's. It's so great.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Kind of offensive.
Yeah, I don't know what to think.
You know what? I expect better from what's the studio
And
called?
yet we sit here.
Airbud Studios.
We
That's
sit
not what
here
it's
and we
called.
can't even come up with a good replacement.
I know, right? Okay, by the end of the episode.
I
You
feel
can't
like
even
we
be
had
like
one.
doggy ball. No, that doesn't work. No, I don't
Doggy
know.
ball.
Beach dog.
Abort.
Beach doggy ball. No, that's no. It's got to be. It's got to be something that works with the sport as well. Like, what is
I don't know. Yeah, it's like
bump set spike?
yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
We'll come up with one.
volleyball
We'll come up with
sayings
one,
are
yeah.
there?
Yeah.
Tyler will come up with one. I don't
I'm
know.
thinking.
Anyways, we're back. We're back with the Airbud Fernfield universe.
That sign, man. It's like a historical.
Yeah, we're here. It's now the end of high school, or is it just the
No,
end
it's
of the
the end
year?
of junior high
End
for
of junior high.
Andrea.
Yeah.
And so really, at most, 2 years has passed. If she went to a 3-year
I was
middle
trying to-
school or junior high.
Right.
Because they were starting it.
Right.
So it's probably only 1 year, but at most it's been 2 years.
Yeah, I was.
Josh is now so far gone, he doesn't even come back to visit.
He gets mentioned once.
yeah.
You have a brother,
and
right?
interesting,
Yeah.
of all the sports, football is the one that he's stuck with.
Summer football too.
Yeah.
He's playing summer football.
No,
y'all.
but if you're playing football at college, you're playing year round.
I know.
And he went to UW.
He
so-
stayed over the summer to play football
Yeah.
in the summer league. That was my first thought.
Oh, no. I
he's
was
not
like, he's
good
in
enough.
freaking camps and stuff. Like, anyway.
Maybe. And the movie kicks off and we find that, this film actually has a shocking amount of continuity, except where it matters.
Noah, the baby, has grown up by at least 3 to 4 years, yet
He's talking, he's walking, he's eating ice cream all day.
He's eating
this
ice
town,
cream.
I mean, we already commented on how this town, like, Airbud could just go around by himself and people would be like, oh, hey, buddy, there goes Buddy. Oh, my God, it's Buddy. But, like, now you have, like, a 4 or 5-year-old kid walking around, like, with no supervision.
This
I
is
don't know.
wild. When was this made? Who lets their child around in
I'm gonna say.
2003?
You know what? I'm not gonna say that
I mean,
joke. because-
Andrea was in, like, 5th grade when she was riding her bike around by herself, but even that is, like, not...
I mean, also
That was
like,
of the time too.
kinda
2003. Dateline has made it very terrifying for
Right.
children to be outside.
I don't care what sports your dogs can play. I'm not sending my dog just to pick up my kid from school.
No.
Well, by then she's like 13. It's more the little kid going to the
I know,
ice cream
still,
store all the time
still.
that with the dog that I was like, this is very strange.
Hey, he also had a bird with him. I don't know. He's probably fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so we talked about how this was probably going to be beach volleyball because there's a parrot on the cover.
Mm-hmm.
That bird has nothing to do with the beach or the sports
Yep.
or really almost anything at all.
Absolutely
It's actually
nothing.
a deep cut for the wild parrots that exist in LA.
The Pasadena parrots?
Pasadena parrots.
Oh, yeah.
No, it's not.
I wish it was that.
Also, the
Malibu.
parrot's
That's in
name is-
California.
the parrot's name is Polly, but like, they start referring to him as him, and so I was like, "What?" And then it's Polly something.
Let's just say the first name was Polly, but it was pretty straight.
No. It was
It's not listed on any of the websites.
it is on IMDb. The name of
It just says Polly.
All right, as you're looking that up,
But
I
I did see in the credits it was like Polly Swasker. I don't know.
no, it was a word that just like starts with Pollywog. There we go. That's what it was.
Pollywog.
I have here definitive proof that ChatGPT will not replace us because I asked them to write me a list of dog-themed volleyball puns.
Oh, okay, wait. Okay, pause the plot. Let's hear the sum.
Okay. So this is a list of 15 from
Oh
ChatGPT.
my God.
Number 1, spike your way to victory. Boo.
Nothing to do with dogs.
Number 2, bump, set, bark.
Oh, okay. I would have taken that one or bark.
Bark
set.
sets.
Why not bark first?
Okay. The rest
Okay,
of them
that
are
one's
hot
good. That
garbage.
one's
That's the only one that's good. Positively unbeatable.
Positive. Nothing to do with volleyball.
Serve up some tail wagging fun.
That's too long.
That's a tagline,
Too
not a
long.
Don't
title.
let the fur fly. Keep your eye on the ball.
Okay, well,
Well, that is one of the
they
things.
did talk about that a lot.
Fetch
yeah.
that win.
Fetch that win. Okay.
Rough and ready for the match.
No.
Possum plays only.
What?
Volley hound in action.
Possum.
Yeah, possum.
Not
Oh,
possum.
possum.
Possum plays only.
I was like, where did
I also was like,
Come
possum?
in.
Volley Hound in action.
Volley hound. Okay,
Ace
come
the
on.
game, no bones about it. Nothing but net and maybe a chew toy.
What?
The
No,
best,
nothing but net is what you don't
know.
want in volleyball. It's what you do want in basketball.
The best defense is a good bark fence.
No.
Canine court domination. Barking up the right volleyball tree.
Oh boy.
What?
And I have great news. I said, these are terrible, do better. And I gave me another list of 15.
Okay, let's go. Let's do it.
Or do we want it? We can wait for.
Okay, let's take
We'll take a break and
We'll
then
come
you
back.
let me know when you want to hear the second ones.
What's the name of the person in volleyball who wears a different color shirt?
No
What's
idea.
that name again? Maybe we can make a
I
pun
don't know
on that.
anything about volleyball.
I don't know.
Oh,
So
okay.
the captain?
I went to many
was like, is it the coxswain?
many volleyball games as a college marching band person.
You don't even know the answer to that question.
It's some word I can't remember. Anyway, but yeah, what happens in the movie?
Well, at the start of this movie, what I was going to say.
Very tired.
It looks like it appears that we're in the exact same town as the previous film, like down to the locations and everything.
Yeah.
We see the gas station, but mysteriously missing from all these locations are Buddy's siblings, or not
Yeah,
siblings, the
children.
The children.
They all moved away.
All gone. I don't know if they all died or what. They're all
They all
gone.
went to go play professional in those different sports.
Maybe? They're not even mentioned.
Yeah.
Not even mentioned at all. The sheriff is in it. The exact
sheriff
same
is still
sheriff.
there.
The fucking psychotic mailman is in it for some
Oh my
reason.
god, I can't believe the mailman was the
The
same.
mailman's back.
But they like paid him so much less. It's
Yeah.
crazy that he hung around.
He's there. It's like it's like very weird. The mom is back.
But
Patrick-
no more content.
Yeah, no more content. Poor Patrick is another rando dude.
This guy looks more like he could have been the bridge between the first two guys
Yeah.
and Richard Karn. But instead they went like around it.
I thought like at the start you like barely see him, and I was like, wow, Patrick is totally just going to be in the background and
Oh, yeah, yeah,
non-existent.
yeah.
But then he does have stuff to do.
Listeners,
They gotta go to the vet conference.
please
Yeah.
remind me, because I will forget by the time we end this recording, to make a Photoshop in the style of an Animorphs cover with all the dads from these movies.
Oh my god,
Moms, yeah.
the moms too,
And the moms, yeah.
I mean,
And Andrea. We haven't even
honestly,
talked
every
about
character
yet.
except for Josh.
They all turn into Airbud.
Oh, yeah. They all turn into Airbud. That'd be amazing. Please do it. Or if
Yeah,
there's an
yeah.
intrepid fan out there
Yes,
that wants
yes.
to send it our way, we'll post it on the Instagram. Yeah, so we got a new Andrea. But the same Tammy.
Yes.
Same team.
Tammy's
So,
back.
Unclear, what
us
happened.
opinions.
I guess they had probably just wanted to make these so quickly that what's her face was probably like, I'm busy, and they were like, well, then screw you.
Yeah.
But I did think that this
What's her
actress.
face was like?
Yeah, she's like, I found boys. No
I
thanks.
know this actress. I did feel was a little bit more like down to earth. I guess like
Yeah.
she
She
was
seemed
good.
more
She
like a
was good.
small town
Yeah.
kid than the other girl who seemed more like a
Living in a lonely world.
Hollywood
Yeah.
kind of, thing. Yeah.
The biggest like sin this movie does is like that, Airbud at the start of the film is just stuck doing regular ass dog things.
Yeah.
Like obstacle courses.
Obstacle courses.
Walking around.
Yeah.
He doesn't get to do anything cool. He's not playing sports or anything.
Well, they decided to kind of lean back into like, look, the lady who trains the dogs probably has a crap ton of other animals on her ranch, and so
Yeah.
let's just frickin' use them. I mean, in the last movie, we had the raccoon, right? But then it was several movies ago, at least 3 movies ago, where we had like all those circus animals.
God, yeah.
And so this one, they're like, okay, we're going to have a bird, but we're also going to have like a bunch of other dogs.
We're going to get a dog the size of the horse.
Yes.
That
well,
Noah
that's
can
a real
actually
thing.
ride. I know, yeah.
That's,
Just a gigantic dog.
this border collie that goes against Airbud on the obstacle course, I'm just like, why would you even do that?
The reigning
Like, I
champion.
can't believe Airbud's even allowed to compete in
Yeah,
this
yeah.
competition. He's been to the
The
World
World
Cup
Cup.
and
Yeah,
the World
that's why
Series.
I'm saying it. Our boy is just getting like he's being mistreated.
Yeah.
he's so much better than this.
By the way,
Why would he ever come back to that family? He could be off making money on sponsorships.
Do we want to have a Leaving Las Vegas type scenario where Air Bud goes to Hollywood and starts having his career of being
maybe
has a high-powered agent played by Rob Schneider?
The fact that he's
not Rob Schneider.
That Air
in
Bud,
those days, it would have been Rob Schneider.
Air Bud is contributing to like doing, but then also solving crime and apprehending criminals in this. It's sort of like one of these natural progressions we always see in these series. Like if something is, it's about this, it's about a dog, it's about whoever, eventually they end up solving crimes.
That's true.
Or looking for treasure.
All of them are crimes. Every single one of these have crimes.
Yeah, that's true.
But this one is like
an actual, like it's like jewel thieves.
The crime is not to do anything to the dogs.
Yeah.
The crime is something else, and they think the dog can help them because they're idiots. But everything else, they were trying to it was a Pikachu thing. They were trying to steal Air Bud.
Yeah. How many jewel heists have we covered in these sequels? Like, I
feel
like
few.
It always
definitely,
comes down
it's
to
definitely
a jewel
like
heist.
I think a Home Alone 5 is.
I mean, there's definitely like a pirate treasure.
There's
heists.
one called Holiday Heist, which is like
Yeah.
the fourth one, but I don't.
That
think
was a
it's-
painting.
Oh,
It was
a
an old
painting.
painting.
It's a
wasn't
heist though. Like it's like they're trying to steal something.
it? Yeah.
Yeah.
That
was the one with the kid who had the remote control house. Or
Yeah, I'm thinking.
I think Beethoven had some pirate treasure
Yep,
with the
there's some
girl from
Oh god, was that the one where they're in
One
that
with the
like,
ring. That was the one where they were all in the Universal Studios.
the mining town?
backlot.
Yeah.
Oh, and then the Bindi Irwin Free Willy
Yes,
was also
also
a pirate
Oh
treasure.
yes, the
Yeah.
treasure
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Jesus.
So yeah, like this is like they can't fucking help
Classic.
themselves.
All
yeah.
animals solve crimes.
Yeah, we'll solve
I know.
crimes.
Yeah. At the start, I was like, "What are these plumbers going to be up to this time?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, they're jewel thieves." The jewel of eternity has come to Fernfield.
I think it's just really stupid of like you have to be so like Looney Tunes throws out more like MacGuffin like per episode of just like these people are trying to get this thing for this reason, and just to make it jewel thieves and hijinks and everything else. Like I wanted to die as this was unfolding. I was like, oh god,
This is really going to be dated by the time this episode comes out, but there's just been all these articles about this like Olympian breakdancing lady that was like
Yeah.
purposely trying to ruin the thing for everybody. What if somebody was like somebody who believed so much in like the power of human athleticism that they were like, we got to kill Air Bud. He's ruining every sport.
Yeah, that would be
Like,
great.
that would be amazing.
That would make way more sense.
Yeah.
A bunch of disgruntled athletes that
Yeah.
banded together to make like an evil Unjustice League
Yeah.
of athletes.
Yeah,
That's what those refs should have been about in the last
Yeah.
movie instead of the super sports gene.
I agree.
But oh well.
I agree.
We get some sort of Thunderbolts or Suicide Squad, take your pick, of disgruntled players from the teams that Air Bud has played on.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
See, from the 2002 Angels, it would
Hey,
be.
we've got
Call
a
me
pitch.
Air Bud Studios.
That's right.
Yeah.
I think it's Airbud Entertainment.
Yeah, well, they didn't answer my emails. Okay, yet.
Yeah, they still could. Hey, we want to make the next Airbud film.
Yes.
Sure do.
We'll send you our Animorphs pitch. I'm working
I was
on
gonna
it.
say, like, look, the dog eventually plays volleyball in this movie.
He does.
But he also displays another unique skill. I don't know if you guys noticed this.
Lever pulling?
No. At the beginning of the film, they make it very clear that he can also tell time.
Yeah. Yeah. No, yeah. This
show
is,
him, like,
this
looking
is-
He looks at the clock.
This is the different clocks going like, oh fuck, it's almost 3 o'clock. I better get to the school to pick up Andrea.
yeah, in this movie, they submit that Air Bud can read.
Yes, yeah. He looks twice at the clock like, oh fuck, it is almost 3. Because people in the town are like, hey, Air Bud, what's going on? And he goes like, oh shit, it's 3. I can't talk to my adoring fans right
They
now.
can't see me leaving the bar.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
They can't see me walking on my hind legs. Yeah.
I mean, he learned to play all those sports. He could probably read, right?
Why?
At least he could read numbers. He can read numbers, right? Because of like football and stuff, you had to like.
I don't think he's got to read number. He doesn't
No.
have to
I
read.
guess not.
There's no literacy test.
Yeah.
He
You
does
just
have
go
to-
toward the big yellow bars. You
Yeah.
actually have to know what yard line you're on.
That's a good question. We never talked about like the eyesight of a dog, would that be a difficulty knowing whose team is what? And like,
Well, in baseball, you really have to like run to the bases too.
Yeah.
I mean, and the obstacle course, even though we make fun of it, it was a pretty tough obstacle course.
Pretty tough.
Yeah.
yeah, but they've been practicing in the front yard a lot.
Right. That was crazy.
16 seconds.
This kid is so
Come on, Air Bud.
young, but he's being like, you know, he's a child.
But he's also
actor or
so
whatever.
dumb.
All of his lines sound like this.
That was Betty.
I mean, honestly, they get a shocking amount of work out of him, and he's not a twin.
So many lines.
He's not a twin. So many scenes, so many lines. Like,
They tried to kick him off the set. He just wouldn't leave.
yeah.
There's a scene. Okay, this is skipping way far ahead, but there's a scene later in the film where him and the grandma are walking the streets of the town going, Polly, where are you? And I was like thinking, like, what does this kid think he's doing right now? I was like, what did they tell him? He would like walk with this strange lady in the street and go like this, Polly. I don't know.
I mean, I think
How much does he
They
understand of
just
what's
wrap him with
happening?
ice cream. He's just like, you just keep those ice creams
I
coming.
mean,
I'll do whatever
did,
you want.
Like, understand? I mean, okay, we've all
I
seen
know, I just
the
thought it-
rehearsal, right? You know, like, so
Yeah,
you
right.
worry about those kind of things. But this kid, he seemed to know what was going on because he had enough wherewithal to like be sarcastic or be sassy or like, you
Look,
know,
these people train the dog to play sports. They can train this kid to do anything.
sure.
That was just the one lonely sequence that I was like, that poor kid. He has to go walk the streets with this old lady.
Polly. And there's
I like
spinach pies.
I like to pretend that the bird wasn't real and she was just
Yeah.
crazy.
Well, I don't even know
That
why.
scene where she's like, I miss talking to you. I miss talking to you, Polly, and the bird's not there. I was thinking like, yeah, the
It's
bird's
never
not been
been
there the
there,
whole movie.
I don't know why they even do this storyline.
Well,
The grandma.
yeah, well, because they didn't want to pay two actors, basically.
Then just just send one of them away on a conference.
Yeah.
Like, why'd you have to bring this grandma with the bird for? Like, it was just like,
Why does she have
for,
a bird?
For those who are confused, and I think that it would be fair if you were, what's happening in the movie plot-wise is that there's a jewel in the town square, I guess. That
It's at the museum.
That these plumbers want to steal. And they see Air Bud perform at this dog agility competition, and they're like, oh, the movie opens with them failing to steal this jewel.
Yeah.
And so they see the dog.
Because of lasers.
Yeah, because of lasers. And they're like, that dog can, like, Catherine Zeta-Jones through these lasers. We got to get that dog.
Makes no sense.
But then they try to get the dog, and they're like, oh, that's going to be hard. And so they devise that it's going to be easier for them to steal this parrot
and use it as bait.
as bait for the dog. That is where we're at. You are now caught up. It makes as much sense as you think it would. I'm
Yeah.
sorry that I had to inform you.
The movie makes
and we
so
also
much sense.
kind of have been jumping all over, but Tammy tragically moves away.
Dies.
They might have died because there's multiple times they jump off a dock in this movie, and it is
Right.
into too shallow water.
Yeah. And maybe it was freezing cold too.
yeah.
I don't know.
But yes, that is the central thing, which is like kind of cute in that like Kibble and Bits are splitting up.
And I
I
get
was
it.
like, Tammy's the MVP. Why would you send
I
her
know,
off?
Yeah.
right? And it makes sense. Like when you are that age, it does literally feel like, okay, this is the end of the world. So I get why she was so upset. They say they're gonna write postcards and they're gonna come visit or whatever. And it was 2003, so we definitely had like AIM by then.
Yeah.
But they're still acting like
I was like, when they
Not
jumped
for
in,
the adults that wrote this movie.
right.
when they jumped in the water, I was like, "There's cell phone," and I was like, "Oh no, it's they don't have cell phone."
no,
there's
there's
cell
a fur
phones.
field. You don't need a cell phone. You just go around yelling.
Yeah,
Marty.
I just thought, if it were me, okay, here's what I thought was going to happen, but didn't happen. I thought that they were going to just send Tammy away, and then, she was going to go down there, and the movie was going to take place with the beach volleyball in San Diego or something.
Yes.
But that never happens.
Wait, you thought Tammy was gonna leave and
No,
take
no.
Air Bud?
No,
No, they
I
go
thought
visit.
that like she would actually go there, and the movie would be
right.
Yeah.
The
her
whole
playing
thing.
beach volleyball in for the summer or something
No.
in
Yeah.
California.
Instead, the whole thing's about her trying to save up money to go.
That's true. But wait, before we move off of this whole Tammy situation, we got to talk about this film's most terrible song.
Oh,
Right.
and you know what? I think that we should do a recap at the end of this of the worst songs for every single one, because it is the worst of the worst.
I might have to go back and watch it though to remember.
These are the worst songs of any series that we have listened to. I think
Well, I mean, first of all, like songs about female friendship, not easy. But yeah, this is pretty bad.
Well, okay, the songs they don't always necessarily sound bad. I'm just saying,
No.
like,
The people can sing.
I'm
yeah.
saying that
gonna get your rainbow.
I'm saying that the lyrics are too specific for the moment.
Okay.
And then they also sound like that one sounded made up by ChatGPT, even though it didn't exist at the time. This one also sounds like just generic mumbo jumbo music. And I have the whole clip. You just got to hear it.
The whole clip?
Yeah.
Oh, of where it's in the movie, not the whole song.
Not
okay.
well,
that's fine.
where it is in the movie. That
sure.
probably is the whole song, honestly. But anyways, it's like, there's a tearful goodbye moment. And of course, they sing this.
I'll send you a postcard as soon as I get there. And I promise I'll ask about you coming right away. Saying goodbye. Okay. As hard as I try, just isn't easy for me. See ya. Wherever you go, I want you to know you're never too far from me. I miss you too, buddy. I hear the silence of the distance between. Why is it love?
It almost sounds like it's Tammy singing because the voices are in the same range.
Change of a season, a rhyme without reason.
My favorite line's coming up here. Here we go.
'Cause we share the same moonbeams that dance through the sky. We share the same dreams. We share all our lives. We share it all. You and I.
There's like slow motion shot of Tammy in the car as they're driving away. We share
they
the
do like
same
a
moon.
split. They do like a summer nights split thing too. And then later in the movie, she's like thinking about Tammy, and Tammy's like in that same shot from the car.
Yeah, it's so funny.
It's a wannabe like somewhere out there. You know?
There are other songs in the movie, but there was one other one that I almost thought was funny, but it was too short. But similar songs later on. Okay, enough about the songs though. Let's get into our interview with Tyler Boissonnault, who plays Connor. Here we go. All right, we are here right now with co-star of Air Bud Spikes Back. Tyler Boissonnault is here with us.
Thanks for having me, guys. I'm excited. It's not every day that I get an Instagram message about my life 20 years ago. So,
Yeah,
I was thrilled to be a part of this. Yeah.
that's awesome. I know. It's like how often do people reach out asking you about Air Bud stuff?
Yeah, it's pretty funny. Every now and then, like, people will just find out about it. I don't like keep it under wraps or anything, but it's simply not something I'm like trying to bring up all the time.
Right. That's probably
You know?
good. You're not out there like, I was
it's
in
like-
Air Bud.
It's the equivalent now of like, a guy who was really good at sports growing up, and he was like going to be the man, and he was like whatever, won the high school whatever, and then like with whatever ACL got torn and nothing happened, and he's like way down the road. And he's like, yeah, I used to be somebody. I used to be really good. So yeah, it doesn't come up all that much, but when it does, it's hilarious, and people are always like, what? And also, they made 5 of these things.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, they made more than that, actually.
I know. Yeah,
Yes.
we're just getting started over here. But
See, that must have been a gold mine for you guys. Like, I mean, obviously, there's tons of sequels out there, but you guys come across this franchise, and you're like, well, we're good for the next year.
yeah, exactly. Pretty much. Yeah, we've been having fun, and we had a good time watching Spikes Back, which is the last one of the main series, I believe. So.
Right, because they kind of go into the buddies after this, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, that just tells you how good my performance was. Like, we'll never do this.
It's nothing to do with you. So yeah, speaking of Spikes Back and so how did you this was quite some time ago back, I think it came out in 2003. So how
Mm-hmm.
did you wind up, auditioning for that project and, getting into even acting, at that time to begin with?
Yeah. So I was born in Edmonton, Alberta, which is like the next province or state over here,
Mhm.
right? And then I moved out here when I was 6 with my mom. So at that time, like Vancouver was we've gone through ups and downs here of how popular it is to film here. And whenever our dollar is really bad, it was like really great. This is before Arnold was governor of California, because he made like a huge push to like bring everything back down there.
Mhm.
So this was kind of before then. So it was Hollywood North. It was so cheap to film up here. The landscape's pretty vast. There's mountains and ocean and beaches and all mountains, all sorts of stuff as far as, scenery to film in. So it just made a lot of sense for those products. So I started off just like, I think I did like some acting course, and I was a different looking kid. I was a messy looking kid. I'm a messy looking man, but every kid back then had it was the straight with the flick.
Mhm.
And I had like this huge, just so like any Panasonic vacuum commercial, or like I did Reese's Puff cereals commercials. So basically how it worked was like, you get a couple commercials underneath your belt, and then some other casting directors that, cast these features will start seeing you. So I think Stuart Akins is the guy who, and I think he still is a casting director in town. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Kind of this. Yeah, he's a super like. Maybe it was him or Castle and the Widows. I can't remember. It's a very long time ago, and I smoke weed, so it's
fair.
It's so yeah, I had a couple commercials in. I wasn't a full union member yet. That was kind of the big thing, right? To get into the union, because the pay was obviously a lot better. So it was like, yeah, if you can get onto a feature, that'd be great. So I auditioned, and then I think it was just one callback. Like, I don't really think it was that intensive a process. I was so hyped to get it, because I knew that I think you needed 6 credits to get into the union at that time, and I had 3.
Mm.
And I was like, and you got one every week you were on set. And I was like, oh, this is going to be great. So
Nice.
it was a pretty big deal to like book the second lead. I'm like, the first was a dog,
Yeah.
which is so funny. I was so hyped when I got it, because the dad of originally I think Kevin Zegers was the original guy,
Yeah.
and then this is like his sister, right?
Mhm.
Mhm.
The dad was Al Borland from Home Improvement, which is like, I loved Tim Allen growing up. I love Home Improvement, so I was like super jacked just to get able to meet him, and that didn't happen. He wasn't in this.
It wasn't the dad, yeah.
They swapped dads.
Super by her, but still great cameos in that. Edie McClure is the grandma.
Oh,
She
yeah.
played the secretary in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, famously. That's how I know her. So yeah, that was cool. But yeah, that's basically how I got it. Was like, I had a couple commercials underneath my belt, and then and this was kind of the first like bigger thing that I had booked. I think it was in grade 9 or grade 10. Yeah,
sweet.
not the coolest movie to be cast in.
I mean,
during
it's
that time at age.
still a movie though. That's pretty cool. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, they actually filmed a lot of the volleyball beach scenes in Tsawwassen, where I grew up, and I was like a beach bum kid, so it was like all those extras are my friends.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's cool.
pretty funny.
So were you already like good at playing beach volleyball?
I mean, I wasn't that tall actually back then. I'm a bit taller now, but I was still like a lanky kid, so I was like, that's a sport that leans well. And I played sports growing up, so they had a volleyball double. This kid from UBC, like the university here.
Yep.
And he didn't look at all like me. They had to like airbrush his skin and put a wig on him. And then I was like, it's a couple takes of volleyball. I think I got this. So he just got paid just to like go into makeup for like several hours a day, which is so funny.
Wow.
I didn't do the skateboarding. The skateboarding was done by Quinn Starr. I grew up skateboarding. I grew up around a lot of pro skateboarders, so I kind of knew these guys as well. In fact, with my money from Airbud, instead of like buying a car and like doing the classic 16-year-old stuff, I bought a Sony VX 1000 which is like an old CCD camera with a Century fisheye lens, and it was like the best skateboarding camera you could possibly have at the time. So that's what I did. Like that was like my side thing, which is like I love filming skateboarding. So I knew Quinn because I had filmed him before. And he had hell long red hair and like freckles, so they had to like again airbrush his skid and do the whole wig. But he did all the skating, and it's painfully obvious if you watched like me pushing on a skateboard versus Quinn Starr, who's an absolute legend in here. Yeah.
Oh man. Well, so here's what everyone probably wants to know for real. What was it like working with Air Bud himself?
Air Bud himself,
or herself, or whichever one it was at the
five
time.
of them, right?
I was gonna say I'm about to break some hearts here. So yeah, there's 5 dogs that all play the one. Originally, no, the first dog was named Buddy, and did everything apparently, and then I think he got cancer, and then they donated him to the children's hospital, like to the cancer ward at the children's hospital. Which is kind of weird. Like crazy. Right. But whatever. So by the time I got there, there was 5 dogs, and there was quite strict rules with animals on set about who was allowed to even make eye contact with them. Oh, wow. The first thing this is my first acting gig. It was an ad we have like a phone company up here called TELUS, and it was like a print ad, and it was basically for like to protect your credit card so that your kids couldn't steal your credit card and buy crazy stuff. So it was me buying a bunch of snakes, like a bunch of baby ball pythons. So that was my first acting. It was like 6 a.m. at this photo studio, and then some guy from Cinema Zoo, which like does all the animals for all like crazy exotic animals for all the movies here. He brought like 6 Tupperware containers, like giant things full of snakes.
Oh my God.
I was like, I don't want this is acting. I don't like this. This is terrible. But then when I got into Air Bud, so there was a couple trainers, all very, very cool people. And then each dog has a different thing that they're really good at. Mm-hmm. So Bailey was like the chill dog. So any just like hanging out, whatever, that was Bailey. And then there's probably 3 like ball dogs that were trained to just play volleyball with you. So the ball is like not a real volleyball. It's like a very hollow, a ball's hollow, but like a playground ball. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like a California kickball kind of ball.
Totally.
That's kind of what it was, but like a little more rubbery, like he could puncture it. That's all they're doing. They're just trying to bite the ball, and then it just pops out of their jaw because it's like just the material of the ball itself.
Right.
But you can sit and volley with a dog. Like some of that, stuff like in the yard, I think, when I first kind of what's up, or like when we, during that red Scarface montage, you could literally, I was literally just playing with them. And Walker was kind of the main one. There was another one, and then I can't remember. And I think the third one was maybe just there for a day, and it wasn't like performing as well. So I don't think they brought them back. I don't think they like killed the dog or anything. That definitely made it sound like, and then they shot this dog. No.
You missed the ball too many times, Buster.
Yeah, right? It's a hard industry out there. It's a hard industry.
Yeah.
And then they also had like a stuffed dog that was kind of like they could use for like from behind, you'd have no idea. Mm-hmm. So we used to mess with people a little bit like that, like me and the grips, to be like you could kind of place it, in an area that'd be like people like, oh my God, it's Buddy. Then you like run up and tackle this dog, and people would kind of freak out. And then you'd show them. Yeah, I remember doing that once. That was fun.
Amazing. I love that there are people like, don't look at that dog.
Yeah, like only the actors are allowed to touch the dog. Like it was a very super fun set though. Like I've been on some Nightmare sets too, and this was like very fun. The real like, you want some tea.
Yeah.
So that's why I mentioned Edie McClure, because I was like, I have to mention this. It was so funny to me. So I was a huge Ferris Bueller fan. I used to skip school to watch that movie. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was great. So, and her whole speech, like with Ed, you look just like Dirty Harry just then. Like she's got that whole accent. It's so funny. So they were like, they would warn us for weeks. Like, Edie McClure's coming to set. Edie McClure's coming to set. And I was like, well, that's like, what do we like it's a big deal, but I'm like, it's also the secretary for. It's not Matthew Broderick. Like, what are we
Right.
talking about here, right? But she was a handful. Like, it was like someone held an umbrella for her in the sun, and like, only read M&Ms, that kind
Oh
of
my
business. Like,
God.
yeah, apparently she was like super maintenance. I remember
Wow.
she knocked on my trailer and handed me a signed headshot that I didn't ask for.
Like,
but
you're
I was,
welcome. You're welcome.
but I still was like, oh, thanks, Edie. Like, I have one scene with you where I eat raisins in a sandwich for some reason.
Right.
Which you could also get into. So yeah, I remember that being like, oh, I think that was my first like diva, like hot, like there's quite a few. I've done some sets here that are like hilarious, especially because it's like I haven't met a ton of A-listers. I've a few, and they've always been amazing.
Mhm.
Like the nicest people, nice to everyone on the cruise and all this stuff. I pride myself in meeting B-list actors. And I'm one of them, but like I didn't continue it. But they're like the maintenance and the entitlement is hilarious. It's
Wow.
so funny.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. So you mentioned that the set was a lot of fun. Like, what did you and the other kids like hang out and get along?
Yeah. So I don't know. Have you guys reached out to anybody else?
No, we found you first.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course. Of course, the lonely comics like, the podcast.
Fellow
Well, it also
podcaster.
depends. Like, some people just have names that are way too common, and I can't even figure out who the heck they are. Like, because they're not
Yeah.
acting anymore.
Well, who is the girl's name? Is Katya, I think.
Yeah.
I think that's her name. I thought she was still acting the last time, like ages ago when I looked. I don't know what she's done. She had a great look. Like, she was like, I feel like she could have done like a ton of Hallmark shit or anything like that. Like, you know what I mean? She was just
Yeah.
very wholesome looking. There's been talk on the set about that too. It's like, is it a love interest? Are we doing this? Is there going to be a kiss? I don't know. And it was like, no, they decided like the demographic was a little young to introduce that.
Yeah, totally.
That was literally something I was going to ask you about.
Yeah. No, Kathy was dope. The kid, Jake,
Oh, okay.
professional as hell. The most, like, he was like 4 or something like he was like, stupid young for that. And he had a lot of scenes, like a lot of scenes with him and the dogs and all. Like, that kid was like prepped. He had a really sweet mom too, but like it was him, and he had an older brother who acted as well. They were like, those kids were making bank. They're just booked on everything because it was like, he's gonna look like this forever because he's like you always want to be older looking younger, which
Right.
we used to be me, and then I don't know what happened. So yeah, they were that JK was like really, really good. The other kids on the volleyball team, they were only brought in like so often, so it wasn't a ton. So it was me. I feel like most of my memories are like me hanging out with Katya, and like it was a pretty big deal for her too. I think it was one of her first or bigger things. And you've flown out to somewhere else to do, a show. That's pretty cool. 'Cause she's from California.
Okay.
She was American, yeah. Yeah.
So we're from California, but you're not. But in the movie, you are. So how did you
Right.
get in the California mindset?
The California mindset, yeah. Well, like I said, I grew up like skateboarding and skimboarding and smoking weed. So
Yeah, there you go.
As far as stereotypes are concerned, I had it covered. Yeah, I guess that was it. Yeah, I never had any like I mean, it's not like one of those films where you'd go to like a dialect coach or anything, but like they never brought it up, but I'm sure to you guys, you're like, holy shit, this guy is painfully Canadian.
Ew. I don't think we heard it. We've heard it in some of the movies, but I don't think we noticed it with you. Yeah. There's been a
That's funny.
few times where we're like, ooh. But-
Yeah,
Honestly, for you, I think the hair did a lot of the work.
Yeah.
for
The hair
sure.
was-
Yeah.
great.
So like I have curly hair, but not that curly. So they would like it just goes up. It's still like that. Like it's just like it's shorter now. Obviously, this is actually long for me now, but they would curl it every morning for like 2 hours. Like,
Wow.
it just took forever. I remember, and like, yeah, they it's super just the fro, man. Yeah. Like I said, but every other kid acting around my age, then they all look like Frankie Muniz.
Mm.
You know what I mean? That was like
Right.
yeah.
That makes sense.
Okay. Did they do it? I mean, I know this was like direct to video. Did they do anything for you guys, like so you could watch it, or like a little party or something?
Did they put it on a bigger screen anywhere? Yeah, straight to video. The old Keystone Productions.
Yes.
Yeah, I think my grandma owns every copy.
Aw.
It's probably in a warehouse. She maybe just sit there for hours signing. No. There was a rap party. I remember the rap party, or vaguely remember it, I suppose. But no, there was no like screening or anything. There might have been in California. I don't know, because the last scene with who's like the famous volleyball player they have, Gabby
Reese.
Yeah. So that was like they went and filmed that back down, and in my head at the time, I was like, well, clearly they're going to fly me out
Right.
to California to meet Gabby Reese. I mean, I'm a pretty big deal in this film, so it would be against their best interest to not have me there to meet Gabby Reese.
It wouldn't
Sure,
make
I don't
sense.
have any scenes with her, and I'm well done my project, but yeah, did not get flown out.
Terrible.
I know.
They
I
messed
know.
up.
It's a brother company of Disney. It's not like they don't have the money. You know?
That's right. Seriously.
Are you guys going to get into the MVP series at all?
Oh, we've mentioned it, but not,
Okay.
I don't know. We're deciding if it's like counts as being part of Air Bud directly, or maybe we'll loop back to that at some time.
Definitely part of the universe.
Mhm.
Same production company. It's the same movie, different animal.
Totally.
But I remember, here's a good one. I remember being on the set. One of the producers, there's a couple, I feel like there's three. Mike, there's a woman producer too. I can't remember her. She was awesome too. They were great. It was really one of the best sets I had worked on.
That's great.
But I remember him getting a call from like one of the trainers that trains one of the MVP, and they're like chimps, I think.
Yeah.
But it's like those things get nuts.
Yep.
Like you can't just be keeping a chimp its whole life. Like at some point it goes kind of crazy, and I guess this thing went nuts, and it like threw the trainer like like they're so strong, and he just threw this trainer like 20 feet. And I remember getting off. We were just sitting in like those chairs, the director's chairs or whatever, actor's chairs, and he was like, "Man, this is crazy. You know that monkey from the first one?" And I was like, "Yeah, you know, we got some problems with it."
Oh my
Like,
God.
that's wild. That's wild. I was happy to be working with a golden retriever.
Yeah. Not gonna do too much. Oh my God, that's nuts.
Yeah, crazy.
They did have a chimpanzee in one of the earlier films, like the second one, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe a quick little foreshadowing
Yeah.
for what was to come with
Little
I
hint.
see what they did there.
Yeah.
Because here was the other thing too is in Tsawwassen, like where I grew up. It's like a little island, like it's the closest to like the ferry to go over to the island here. So it is like a little beach bum suburb, right? And so there was an agency there. Like one of my friend's moms was like the agency for just extras, because that was a pretty good gig. Like, you know, you're 15, you want to just hang around, do nothing all day and get paid for it. Like, okay, like, so, and they filmed a lot of stuff there. So, so a lot of my friends had already been, like my older brother and his friends were like extras in the first Air Bud.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm sure you could definitely like debunk my California origins if you really pay attention to the extras, I'm sure.
Oh my God. So, I mean, you mentioned, so did you ever keep in touch with anybody past like when the movie wrapped up, or?
One guy, who was this sound man's son, who was like helping him at the time, like learning the trade and stuff like that. His name was Luke. We ended up working at a bar together, like way down the road kind of thing. And I don't know. I know he's like married, 2 kids, the whole mission now. So I don't, but no, I haven't really kept in touch with a ton of people. I got out of the game, kind of like a little bit right after high school, basically. Yeah. Maybe a little bit after high school. Yeah. It just became like, it's a tough age to be doing that. Like, you know, you don't really want to, I'd rather just be with my friends or whatever it was. The other thing too was like being union was fantastic. It was great. But as I got older, it was like a lot of it was stuff you just didn't really want to do, like artistically, not scratching your itch. It was like, not fun. And then all my friends at that time, but once you graduate, they would start going to film school and making these cool independent films, and I couldn't do any of that stuff because I was like the union laws were like pretty strict, and I was like you could get slapped pretty hard on it. So
Right.
it also the older you got too was like, I mean, you guys, I'm sure you guys are aware. There's a lot of schmoozing, a lot of weirdo parties that you just. A lot of weird coke parties and just shit that just didn't. Yeah, I didn't like the tone of it. I was like, I don't like the ass kissing. What I wasn't into. Yeah, so I kind of got out of it for a while. Then just kind of did friend stuff for a while.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that. So what are you up to now? I know you mentioned that you're a comedian.
That's me, yeah. So it's Canadian comedy, folks. So it's a day job.
It's so nice. They're so nice. Yeah.
Yeah. You have to have a day job. Nobody lives here. If you guys didn't know that, there's nobody that lives in this country. There's more people living in New York than there is in our entire country. So, and then also it's like if you drive 12 hours in the States, you've hit especially that middle part, it's like you've hit a bunch of different spots.
Yeah.
And you guys have clubs everywhere. So stand up here is not necessarily like that. But it's going well. I've been doing it for about 5 years.
Nice.
I'm a musician. That's what I like. That's what I went to end up going to school for. And I bought that camera with Airbud money, and then with the rest of my acting money, I paid to go to school for music. So did a little bit of bit of that. I was in bands, stuff like that, just scoring for some stuff and independent films, that kind of thing.
Nice.
And then recorded people, obviously, did some live sound stuff. And then I got into I was in restaurant and hospitality forever. I was running live music venues just in the city for a long time, and of all kinds, jazz, punk, very highbrow, very lowbrow, all sorts of stuff. And then I started stand-up about 5 years ago, and it's something I always wanted to do. I loved stand-up as a kid, and I just was so focused on music. And then I kind of started. There's actually a pretty good scene here. There's lots of little independent clubs and all that kind of stuff. And then I feel like in the last 2 years, it's really picked up a bunch. So it's I'm touring across the country and getting to do spots and just for laughs and all that stuff. And then the next step is to get the visa to go to be able to work in your fine country, because kind of where you want to be. So that's the goal. You got to save up a little bit and get the immigration lawyers on it, and then we'll see. Yeah.
That's great.
That's the plan.
What instrument did you study in school?
So I went to a contemporary school. So it's very jazz forward, a jazz forward school. I have a degree in sound engineering, but you still had to major in an instrument. I played guitar since I was 8 years old.
Nice.
My mom was pretty. You had to pick an instrument by the time you were 8, kind of thing, and I was 7.5, and she was like, "TikTok, my guy, let's go."
What's it gonna be?
Yeah.
What
do you guys do?
I also went to school for music, so that's why I was curious.
Oh, cool. Okay.
But
there's no way this would be it.
Yeah. Actually, this is a musical podcast. We're about to sing. No, I'm kidding.
I didn't sign up for this.
And a 1 and a 2. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I went to school for voice in undergrad, and
nice.
I'm a music supervisor during the day. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so we also work in the industry.
Yeah, I'm in co-working, but I was in the industry, short films and stuff, and maybe I'll get back to it.
Yeah. How do you guys find it down there? Is it pretty is there still quite a bit of work? From the stand-up end of things, it feels like there's been this great exile of LA. But that's from a North American perspective. We don't really know what's happening.
I mean, I think they're still trying to get as much, shot here in LA. I think they still do a lot of stuff in Vancouver, and I mean, jobs in general are kind of down at the moment post strike.
My day job now is I work in it's a showroom for home design. So I just do lots of fabrics and window covering stuff, but I still deal with a lot of productions in town, a lot of set deck and costumes people. Which is kind of it. Honestly, it's been a big part of the business that we've grown there because I was in the industry. I understand how quickly shit needs to happen.
Yeah.
Like they need stuff yesterday, and it's the industry that I'm in doesn't operate like that. They're very like, well, it's a 3-week lead time, and I'm like, oh no, you don't get it. These people have money to pay for anything, so just to make it happen. So yeah, that's been kind of fun. So I'm still in touch a little bit just on that end of things, I suppose.
Nice.
But things are really just coming back here though. Like COVID was obviously rough because it took so long for those productions to come back, and a lot of them just folded because of it. So I'm just now starting to really see like, okay, there's some, 4 or 5 really big productions in town or something like that. Yeah,
that's great. Where can people like check out your music and your stand-up stuff?
Yeah, so the stand-up's pretty easy. Just Ty the Comic on Instagram. You can check everything out there. Ty1 on YouTube. You'll get all that fun content there. I'm gonna have like a little Yuck is putting out like a little thing that I filmed a couple months back. I'm waiting to kind of hear back on some of that stuff. But yeah, if you follow me on Instagram, that's literally where you see everything. That'll give all the links to TikTok and all that stuff. The part of the podcast called Show Me Yours is 2 really good friends of mine. It's a music-based podcast. They've actually moved out to Montreal, but we still are maybe doing a monthly episode. But go check that out. And yeah, there's all kinds of stuff. Just go to my Instagram, you'll find everything.
Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
One more question before we let you go.
For sure.
Do you have a dog?
No, I don't. I don't have a dog. I have a cat who thinks he's a dog. Here's the deal. My life is insane. It's like I work 6 a.m. till 2 p.m. and then I come home, maybe nap, and then I'm out doing stand-up. Like I'm out every night doing stand-up. So and every weekend out and trying to be in a different province or somewhere else trying to do it. So it's just like too gnarly to have a dog right now. So a cat is like I would love one. I love dogs. Like that's one thing I'll say about that. All the other dogs that were on that movie too were awesome because there were so many. There was that big gray wolfhound and a whole bunch of. They were all just the best. No, I'm a huge animal guy. I love animals, but I'm old enough to know now that I'm like, it's not a good idea.
Can your cat play any sports?
Sorry?
Can your cat play any sports?
Yeah.
You can catch a mouse. Does that count?
Sure.
Because he definitely doesn't kill it too. He plays with it like a sport. So.
There you go.
Nice.
Just bats it around. Yeah. That's great. Okay, here I have one more question. We've been like floating the idea a couple times of like what we would think of for like another sequel to Air Bud. If they were like, if Air Bud Entertainment was like, we're gonna mount like a legacy sequel to Air Bud and bring back some of the characters of the past. If they were like, we want to have Connor come back, would you do it like a cameo or something?
Oh, for sure. Are you kidding me?
That would be amazing.
But like a real like things have not gone well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he just shows up like an old wrestler.
Yeah. Like volleyball didn't work out for me.
Yeah. Again, like the ACL thing. That is what that guy's story is.
Yes.
That'd be so funny. It's so great because I remember when it came out and like my friends were like, "We got to watch this." Obviously, just to roast the shit out of me. It wasn't like we're so proud of our friend.
Yeah.
But I remember some of my friends being like, "Dude, you really like kind of wimped out on that in that movie." Like what kind of film did you think you were watching today? From just like doing rails with Air Bud. Like it's not happening, dude. It's for 6-year-old boys.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. I would totally go back. Yeah. I would. Sometimes I miss, cause obviously I have friends now who are very successful actors and do it all the time. That's kind of what their day job is, right? Is they'll do acting and then they do stand up at night. And every now and then I'm like, oh yeah, it'd be kind of fun, but man, like so many of my friends make so many cool things now that I can that that I can be part of. Actually, that's what I'm going to plug. If you go watch, there's a short on YouTube called Bullet, and it's like an exaggeration about like kind of the stand-up scene, but it's like kind of this, but there's like a whole, oh, hold on, sorry. Of course, getting spam calls now.
It's all good.
Sorry, that was the union shaking me down for that money. Yeah, go watch. It's called Bullet. It's on YouTube. My friend Ernie Hart and Aiden D'Souza did it. It's phenomenal. It's like they did such a fun job at it, which it's like really goofy. It's a kind of a shooter up action film, but about stand up. It's they did a killer job. It's
Nice.
very, very funny too. So yeah, go check that out.
Sweet. I'll check that out. Well,
Yeah.
awesome. I want to be respectful of your time and everything. So, like, thanks for doing this.
Oh,
This
you
is
guys
awesome.
are the best. No, I appreciate it. No, it's super fun.
Yeah, and hopefully everyone listening, you guys can go, follow Tyler on Instagram and check out Bullet on YouTube. Yeah, thanks again for being here, Tyler. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me. Yeah, appreciate it, guys.
That seems about as good as I need to chime in with additional ChatGPT
Oh! Let's do it.
dog volleyball puns.
Oh, by the way, that that volleyball position is called the libero.
Libero.
Yeah, but-
Okay. Well, let's see if that comes into play with one of these. I doubt it. Number one of after I told ChatGPT to do better, spiking up some positivity.
It's just too long.
You've got to dig deep like a retriever.
No.
Don't drop the ball unless you're playing fetch.
Okay.
Setter's gonna set, and so are the pups.
No. They can't just, no.
Ace the serve with some barking confidence.
What?
Volleyball is a formidable game.
Wait, I think I thought of actually a good one when you're done.
Okay, that is we got a few more. Pause, and play. It's time for a volley. The only digs we're doing are on the court. Net gain? More like pet gain.
No.
Net gain? That's business?
These are just too random.
Let's bump up the paw someplace. Howl you feel after that epic spike. First touch. First win.
No.
Stay positive even when you miss a serve. Don't let the barking distract you from the ball. And for sure, we're going to ace this game.
Okay. You want to hear mine?
Yes.
How about serve is animal?
Serve. Airbud. Serve is animal.
You may have a future in writing songs for Airbud Studios.
Yeah. Then the whole movie, everyone would just be like, "Don't pet him! No, don't pet him! You're not
He's
supposed
working.
to."
He's
Yeah.
working.
Don't.
Yeah.
Get away from him, Gabrielle Reese. Get away from him.
I won't punish you guys with this. And I was like, give me a list of deep cut volleyball puns. I cut out all the dinosaur ones. Dinosaur. Airbud. That's where I want. That's what I wish we were talking about.
How is Dinosaur Buddies not one of the ones? that's coming up?
The number 3, I'm not going to do the list. I don't know what this is, and I don't even know it's a volleyball thing. Our chemistry is on point, like a setter's no-look dump.
Let's remake all the Airbud movies with a CG dinosaur. And don't change the scripts at all.
Tippet. We need Phil Tippet.
Hit the Tippet signal.
We're so
And when we get to
off.
Spike's back, Spike from Lamb of Our Time can
Go
show up, and
yes.
it'll make more sense.
And not speak.
That's right, not speak. Oh boy. Okay, so
if you can't tell by how more off the rails than we usually are with this, not much happens in this movie.
Yeah, well, the thing I wanted to complain about is that the movie is ostensibly about a dog playing volleyball, but this doesn't happen until I checked. It's like 45 minutes.
Oh my God.
And so this movie is hour and 20 minute runtime.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
like
so-
over half the film.
A family moves into Tammy's house, which, by the way, Tammy lived next door this whole time, which I didn't even realize.
I also was like, what?
I mean, I knew she lived in the neighborhood, but anyway, next door, a new family moves in. They've got a son who's Andrea's age. You know, they're a little bit friendly, but it never goes full, you know, they're in love or whatever. But he does get her into playing volleyball.
And he's
So
the
it
one
never
who
goes full challengers.
He's the one. He's the one who accidentally finds out that Air Bud can play volleyball.
So I actually did like this conceit better than a lot of the other reveals we've had.
It was funnier, but it was
Yeah, because he accidentally hits the ball over the fence, and then it comes back, and he's like, huh? And he thinks he's probably playing with Andrea or maybe the little boy, but even then he's like, what? And then they go back and forth a few times, and but then he still doesn't discover it until like way later.
Yeah.
But this was a better conceit than some of the ones where they were just like, whoa, Air Bud, he can play, you know, like I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like half the movie is spent with Andrea trying to raise money by doing various odd jobs.
Yep.
And I was gonna I went back to take a clip for the rating system, but unfortunately it didn't work because there's a scene where like the mom is counting out money, and I thought she counted from like 1 to 9, and I was gonna be like, "What's your guys' rating?" and then play the thing. But she starts at 5 or something. And I'm like, there ain't no way people are giving this a 5. No way.
Okay, so I complained about this in 7th Inning Fetch when we had a long montage of Tammy becoming the star player and all the dogs going missing and how long has passed yet everyone's wearing the same clothes. And this movie does it like
Time passes differently in Fernfield.
times. So we have one montage where like the parents go to the conference and Graham comes to stay with them. But you would think a conference would be a weekend at most, one calendar week.
Yeah.
But she has time. Andrea has time to start an entire business in which she specifically one time takes 2 dogs for 2 weeks. She specifically says, oh, 2 weeks? Okay. And those dogs come and go somehow. The parents are still gone. She manages to make a ton of money, have all this dog sitting stuff with all these many, many, many different dogs. And their parents are still gone.
I think you're right. The parents don't love the kids.
But what conference is like a month?
They were at the Sibian Suites. Or whatever they're called.
Oh my God.
Did they say where the conference was?
No, they didn't. It was just and he
Morocco.
had a big presentation. The dad's got a big presentation for the conference.
Yeah, how I completely changed my appearance and personality.
How I secretly trained my dog to play all sports known
yes.
to mankind.
So I could get extensive plastic surgery every year.
It's a brand new me. Yeah.
And then later, once Air Bud starts playing volleyball, they also do another montage where many games pass and they keep being in the newspaper and whatever. But then all the kids are wearing the same clothes. And it's not like they're even uniforms.
Yeah.
They're just like blue shirts and then like different color shorts and pants.
There's
but
also
the
a
same,
montage of her like learning to play volleyball with Connor as well, right?
Kind of.
And there's that.
You know what? I think we're uncovering something here. We have an abandoned church in this town, right? It's
Yeah.
a church that's abandoned.
They do show a
And then,
church again.
and then we have a bunch of people that wear the same clothes every day. I think that Fernfield is a cult.
Oh my God.
That's fine.
Maybe.
And that's
They're
why
worshiping a crystal.
And yep, they're worshiping a crystal. And it's just like, no, that's your new dad. That's your new dad. He's the vet.
Don't ask questions.
Don't ask
Good
questions.
point. Good point.
We've uncovered it. We've cracked the code.
Fernfield.
Fernfield.
I got to bring up one more. Oh, I was going to say about that montage. That montage where she's learning to like set the ball and everything. She hits it too hard and it breaks a window. Mm-hmm. And they're like, oops. And then there's a weird cut to Graham just looking like, smiling in a different window. And there's never a moment where anyone's like, you're going to fix that, aren't you? Or better fix that window.
She doesn't care. She's Graham. It's not her damn house.
Also, I was unsure if it was even her window or Connor's parents' window. I don't know.
Graham still have very weird at that point.
Very
too,
weird.
Right?
No, Graham's like, Polly would have loved broken windows.
Yeah.
Okay, and then
I miss talking
what
to Polly.
is this shtick about Graham making the horrible, inedible vegetarian
It doesn't make
meals?
sense because the stuff she makes doesn't make
make
It's
sense.
not
as
real
food.
food.
Yeah.
She makes a sandwich with lettuce and raisins.
Yeah.
And then later, I believe she's trying to give Noah asparagus spears.
Sandwich,
Yeah. Unless
Honestly,
Graham has a brain injury.
the pot,
She's like, yeah. And Patrick was like, oh, just don't say anything about her
the
cooking.
pot pie
I don't
with
know.
the spinach didn't look that bad, honestly.
That could have been
I was
fine.
kind of
Fine.
like, okay.
If there was,
And then
like,
also,
cheese in there or
the
something. Like a
cauliflower cupcakes is a big, like, line, but after having done keto for so long, I'm
Right.
like, I would eat a
You're like,
cauliflower
sure.
cupcake.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm there. But the sandwiches, I'm like,
No,
what
the
is-
sandwiches absolutely not.
She does have a mental head injury or something.
It is amazing for how many returning characters in Fernfield we get. We still have not met the intrepid high school sports reporter that is covering every
Oh
game.
my God, I know.
and
Oh,
taking
I had
photos.
a question about this, like an editorial question for
Sure.
you. So, I don't know. Maybe this is correct, but there's a couple times in the newspaper where they abbreviate Timberwolves
Oh,
as
T-Wolves?
T''Wolves. Is that how you would write it if you were doing that?
I would not, but I
Because
could
when I
see
look at it, it looks like they say 12s.
Yeah.
Is how it reads to me.
T-Wolves, yeah. Well, okay, so, like, oh my God, I was just talking about this the other day for some reason, but there's, like, a thing where there's, like, certain fonts where the size of the letters are all the same, but newspaper, Times New Roman, most fonts are not like that. Like, different letters have different numerical value for how much space they take up on the page. And so T''Wolves would be a shorter word for you to put in a headline than T-Wolves because the hyphen is going to have a bigger value. It's going to take up more real estate in your headline.
All right.
So there you go.
See, I knew you would know the answer because I was like, that looks fucking stupid.
You know, I never say it anymore. I always just say that I studied journalism, but my undergraduate diploma is actually in print journalism.
There you
And
go.
so I was like I think I was in one of the final years where you still had to take the class about laying out the front page
Typesetting?
of a
Yeah, yeah.
newspaper and learning about like kerning and like, you know, like
Right.
they just call it letter spacing in Canva now, but like I had to learn all these things for real.
Do you
there you
think
go.
when they canceled that class, somebody just walked in and silently just muttered, "Stop the presses"?
I mean, he was a cool teacher. He literally worked for the LA Times and and then would come teach us at night and then would go make the front page of the LA
That's
Times.
cool.
Like
That is
It was
cool.
a cool class, and it's a useful skill, I think, still somehow because you just kind of get an inherent sense of what looks okay.
And if the quiet place happens, you can print all those newspaper headlines.
Yeah.
I was
Warn all those people.
Yeah. I was trying to read all the side articles too every time they popped
I
up. And
know.
there was one that I couldn't read, but it said like Trojans names.
It did. There was one about the Trojans. I saw that. There was one about like boat crash, like two boats colliding in a giant lake.
It's like 9/11 inside job? Question mark.
No. I did try to look to see if there's anything really bad, but it was all just kind of like whatever. Yeah.
Well, before we even get to any volleyball, there's still a whole crazy sequence where all the dogs escape and run through their town. And what I was going to say is that, if we had to endure this, I feel like everyone listening to the podcast can't just skip the movie. They got to listen to the Tomcat Kibble song.
Oh boy.
Here it is. A supercut.
Is your cat a hungry cat?
Oh.
Yeah. No, you don't have to bring one. It's fine. No problem. Yeah.
That's Polly, by the way.
Tomcat Kibble has all their treats.
Yeah, they all get their own jobs. Polly!
Tomcat Kibble?
Two Dobermans for tomorrow? No problem.
No problem.
Speaking of brain injuries.
So like the bird gets activated by this commercial from his sleeper cell and goes out into the world and starts going meow, 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 meow. And it like fucks up all the dogs and they go chasing after him as he flies off into like a flea market somewhere.
I did think it was crazy that the farmers market people made this girl pay with her babysitting money for this. I mean, honestly, if a horde of dogs runs through the farmers market and you didn't have your merchandise secured properly, that's your own damn
pottery. My cabbages.
No. Okay. So when the thing falls over, I was like, if he says my fruit, I'm gonna be like my cabbages. But nobody yelled out my cabbages. But the cabbage man's legacy was alive and well in our hearts.
I did like that. The bird the whole time is just going like meow, 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 and there's a shot of him flying past the guy with the pottery, and the guy's like, "What the fuck was that?" meow, meow. And then like, he's like meow, 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 and then immediately all these fucking dogs.
But like, let's not forget that Air Bud saves the most critical, expensive piece of pottery in a shocking stunt. Honestly,
this was hilarious. I was like, this huge, terrible looking pottery urn or whatever the fuck it is goes flying. That has a very like Price is Right sticker on it that says like $500. Goes flying in the air because this guy, I don't know, just drops it or whatever. And I'm like, how the fuck is he gonna catch it in his mouth? What's gonna happen? And it lands on his head like a I don't know, like a
Bugs Bunny cartoon.
Yes, it's like
he probably had to like practice with like pool donuts or something, you know, like that kind of thing.
Well, the good news is that his neck has been so strengthened by hitting baseballs
with
a bat that like this does not completely shatter his spine.
But they weren't immediately like, oh my god, he could be a pottery catcher professional.
It was probably like a paper mache. It was like it
was paper mache. It looked like paper mache. Yeah.
It also suspiciously looked like one of those like reverse shots where like they actually like put it on. They put it on the dog and then took it off. Yeah, I don't know.
Boo. Movie magic. Boo.
How are you gonna, because how are you going to get the dog to position his head correctly to catch this thing unless it was way bigger than it looked or something?
No, I think you could do it, honestly.
If it was just foam, yeah, it probably was.
If you put weight, well, we're already thinking about this more than anyone in the world ever has once again, but if you put weight on the brim of the thing, it will fall that. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying, but you have a chance to bop poor Buddy in the nose.
No.
When they miss.
It won't be that heavy.
Yeah. He caught it and everyone was like,
That was Buddy.
What is he even saying in that?
That was Buddy.
Yeah.
Oh, because
they didn't even cast that kid.
I think it's because Connor comes down and is like, holy crap, Andrew, you're really good at volleyball. And the kid's like,
That was Buddy.
sorry.
Do you have any other of his quotes?
No, I didn't pull up.
Oh, okay.
I was going to pull up him going like, chug-a-lugga, chug-a-lugga.
Choo-choo.
I just, I don't.
By the way, Andrew fully just calls Patrick dad all the time.
Yeah.
And Graham. It's his mom.
That's true.
It's not even, but
that
nice.
did cross my mind once. She said that
Blended
and I was
family.
like, is it her dad though?
Nope.
And there's no longing photos of a test pilot in this movie.
Not
Thank
at all.
God.
Yeah.
What, you wanted his memory to
Actually,
be forgotten?
Yeah, I'm tired of it.
He's flying the big test plane
They
in the
don't
sky.
want to pay for that guy's photo.
The mom is just going along as a +1 to a vet convention. What happened to her career?
Yeah, at the napkin factory.
I don't know, yeah. Now we're just waiting for Patrick to die during some experimental veterinary surgery.
Do you think that she...
I could do surgery like Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible. And then he falls and dies.
He gets a job at was it TCRI, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles ooze facility?
Yes.
Nope. I forced whatever I was going to try to say out with that Ninja Turtles joke.
That's fine. That's fine.
Why did this movie have so much more product placement than all the other ones? I mean, I remember we had a Shasta...
Because they're running out of money.
Shasta situation and some other things. But this one... Okay, so the dog obstacle course tournament was sponsored by Big Dogs, which really
I did see that, which was amazing.
Did you guys have any Big Dogs?
I did have one shirt.
I sure did.
I had one shirt.
Okay, like, I feel like people would give my dad those shirts because they thought it was funny to give fat people big dogs shirts, you know, and he'd just be like,
hey there, big dog.
Throw this away, you know, like Goodwill. But yeah, that was such a, does that even exist anymore? Big dogs?
Things like that and crazy shirts were like, that was
No, crazy shirts still exist, man.
okay.
Have you been to a mall lately?
No.
Okay.
Have you been to a mall?
In a beach city?
The point that I remembered after my Ninja Turtles joke was that maybe she got out of the napkin business and now she is in the specialty, you know, that white little piece of tissue paper that when you go to the doctor they put that down. Maybe she has the vet version of that.
Yeah.
The pet friendly version.
I
it's like a napkin.
I did think it was really funny that they spend a lot of time talking about this like mom and pop like ice cream shop on the corner.
And then he eats Baskin-Robbins.
They show the bad guy eating the Baskin-Robbins. Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? This makes no sense.
It's so crazy. And then we have like I didn't even know that Lululemon existed this long ago.
What?
But he was wearing Connor was wearing a Lululemon tank top.
I wonder if it was I wonder if it was if it was like a Canada thing. That makes sense.
Maybe, but it was very prominently like in the shot. The logo was right behind his neck.
I did not notice that either.
And then there's a lot of Fruit Loops. Baskin Robbins,
whatever the net company is, Briny or
that's gonna look like that anyway in any volleyball game, pretty much. But oh god, yeah.
The other thing I noticed and was excited about was that this movie has both a Tyler and a Justin.
It does.
It's true.
I mean, Tyler is one of the actors, but there is a character named Justin. But he didn't do anything, so
he
I was
was
like,
useless. I'm sorry.
I was waiting for him to say something funny, and it never happened.
It's sort of interesting. Why don't we do
Child star check, child star checking in, child star checking. They're a child star, and we're checking in now.
Thanks. Child star check-in. So yeah, Justin and most of the team like do nothing. And Justin
like
is
no lines.
credited, but the girl, the Asian guy, and the other guy and the other girl are not like credited at all. Even the girl who like has to run away because her family decided to go on vacation.
That was
or whatever.
hilarious. When that moment happened, I was like, okay, here we go.
There's always so many excuses. You're like, oh, chicken pox. Oh, this and that. Like, and now it's
My
like
parents want to fuck off to their vacation home. Yeah.
But yeah, Justin, the actor who played Justin is named Chris Bishop, and there are just too many Chris Bishops in Vancouver for me to figure out who the F he is.
Bishop.
But he never did any other movies.
Oh, boy.
Okay, so
Sorry, Chris.
In the meantime, Andrea has been replaced.
In this movie.
Yes, and is now played by Katja Pevek, who did this movie. This was one of like her first things, and then she went on to be in Yours, Mine, and Ours, which is the Dennis Quaid not cheaper by the dozen blended family movie. That was like a twin movies phenomenon. It was the other one. Yeah, she was in Sleepover with Alexa then Vega.
Nice.
And she had her own show on Nickelodeon that was soccer-based called Just for Kicks. And it was produced by Whoopi Goldberg, who did not win an Emmy for that.
Oh, that reminded me. One of the other side articles was like something like, people are getting into soccer again or something like, I don't know. Yeah.
After a dog won the World Cup, people are now finally ready to come back to soccer. Okay, so you already talked about Tyler. Yep. Tyler Boissonnault. We'll figure out how to pronounce that, but he was Connor. This was like one of his later movies. I think he did a few things, but now he is a prominent Vancouver stand-up comedian. He has his own podcast called Show Me Yours, and he recently celebrated 5 years sober.
Oh, cool.
Whoa.
Congratulations.
On his Instagram. Okay, so some of these other kids... We've got Scooter Kid, also named Tyler.
Is this the kid that like also gets his cotton candy?
It might have been.
I think it looked like the same kid that
he was on a Razor scooter. Yeah. Okay.
Cotton candy taken away and the scooter.
This is crazy. This criminal eats a kid's cotton candy in front of him, and
That
it was
nuts.
bonkers. Anyway, Scooter Kid, Tyler Z.
Oh, two Tylers.
He, I guess, gained some amount of YouTube fame for a show called Cute Mario Brothers.
Okay.
Back in the 2000s.
Okay.
And now he's in a punk rock band.
Also called Cute Mario Brothers.
Yeah. There is a character called Fair Game Boy. Is there someone that yells out about it being a fair game?
Probably.
I don't remember that.
But okay, well, and we'll get to it. But this is like the first time that just nobody even bothers to say a goddamn word about whether or not Air Bud should be playing.
They're just
this town is so beaten down by this at this point that nobody has the energy to.
I kept waiting for the Rats to have a rat come and play. You know,
No.
I don't know.
Oh, okay. So, anyways, Fair Game Boy.
Ratatouille can also play volleyball.
Weirdly, this kid, Jared Van Snellenberg, he is actually like one of the most famous child actors in this, but this was his last movie. So he had already been in movies for years, such as Rat Race and Happy Gilmore, and lots of other big movies with lots of big comedians. And then he retired from the industry in 2002. And then this movie comes out, I guess, in 2003.
Yeah.
So it was either shot before he retired or he just did one last appearance.
Okay, I thought you were
Fair
going to say
Game
he
Boy.
died. So I was
No,
like,
he didn't die. He didn't die. He is now a prominent psychiatry professor with his PhD who specializes in schizophrenia neuroimaging research.
Very cool.
Let's refer Graham to him.
I'm sorry. Oh my God. Wow.
I'm sorry.
You should be. Okay, and then finally, we unceremoniously, in the beginning of this movie, say goodbye to Tammy. Oh, wait, I forgot about Noah. Okay, let's do Tammy. Tammy leaves after we've had, 2 movies with her. And last movie, she was essentially the star, almost more than Andrea. But Chantal Strand has more than 100 credits. Like, she has done so many things. But after acting, and she already started doing voice acting while she was doing these Air Bud movies, but now she has done like so many voice acting things. But interestingly, for our purposes, she did do stunts in Look Who's Talking Now.
Wow.
Excuse me, sorry. And she also did one episode of Poltergeist: The Legacy, right? That was the name of that show?
Yeah.
I wrote PTL and then I forgot what it stood for. She is always the voice of, I'm going to say, Lakis Klein in English Gundam dubs.
Okay.
She is Starsong for My Little Pony.
Mm-hmm.
And for Justin's purposes, she is in Dinosaur Train.
Oh! My
She's
daughter was just watching that literally 2 seconds ago.
Valerie Velociraptor. I don't know if you're familiar with Valerie Velociraptor.
Maybe maybe it's just for a couple episodes or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the Canadian dinosaur train.
Maybe.
They meet so many other dinosaurs. I don't know.
That's true. So when you get to that episode, you can think of Tammy, Chantal Strand.
That's awesome.
Finally,
She's great.
Noah, who we talked about, Jake D. Smith. And, we joke around about him, but being a child actor is insane, right? Like, he did fine.
It's
and
fine.
He's in a shocking amount of this movie. Shocking. And he is not a twin. Okay, so eat your heart out, Mary-Kate and Ashley, because this kid, dude,
This is the hardest working kid in show business.
He's like the
so much
Lindsay
ice cream.
Lohan of... Okay. So it's just one kid in a lot of the movie. This is his first role.
Wow.
And then somehow...
Actually, that's surprising.
I haven't seen it.
Wow.
Well, no, the reason it's surprising is because of what I'm about to say. His second role was actually Baby Geniuses 2. So I don't know how they...
Baby Jesus. Baby Jesus in a...
Baby Jesus too.
You remember Baby Geniuses?
Yeah, we haven't got to that yet.
Yeah. Remember those...
We haven't got to that yet.
Oh, God. Yeah. How many of those are there?
Super Babies too.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it is.
I'm finding out. Hold on.
Baby Geniuses 2.
Yeah.
So then he goes to star in that. And then
That's great.
when he gets a little older, he
Super toddlers.
joins in for 2 Diaries of a Wimpy Kid.
Okay.
Okay.
And then now I don't know what he's doing because he's probably like
The live action ones?
in high school or in college. But yes, the live action ones. He, according to IMDb, he learned to read. He taught himself how to read at the age of 2. Okay.
Sorry, I thought you were gonna be... According to IMDb, he learned to read.
Much like Air Bud in this movie.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he learned to read?
No, but it
so
specifically
glad.
says he taught himself to read at age of 2. He started learning piano
Where were his parents?
at the age of 3.
Buying pianos.
It literally is one of his skills listed that he learned how to whistle as a toddler.
Okay.
I can't even
miraculously.
whistle, so this kid's better than me.
And he is an avid downhill skier.
Oh, wow. Did he teach himself that?
Yeah, maybe.
Does that mean that he edits video of downhill skiing on Avid?
His IMDb... That was just too funny. His IMDb says that he learned to read. Pause.
He taught himself how to
That
read.
was
I didn't
perfect.
want to misrepresent his teachings.
We've dunked on this kid
Just
so
like-
hard.
Jesus. Sorry.
You're getting into Star Wars Phantom Menace territory, okay? And his name's Jake, so
That's true.
you better
That's
back
true.
the f off. Okay. All right. Yeah. That's all. That's it for the Child Star check-in. I did also want to comment that babysitting $9 a day.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. I don't know. That's not. I mean, that was 2003 money though.
That still seems
buy a
really
house.
low.
Buy a house for $9.
Yeah.
This is George W. Bush money.
Yeah.
And also, there is the referee in this movie was a
Sheriff.
additional basketball player in the previous movie, and this is the guy so we have to watch out for because he is Airbud Studios or Airbud Pictures for life. So
The guy who's like
Money is in the game!
that guy.
maybe is that the guy who was the ref who said it?
So.
Anyway.
I don't know.
So
He
he's
seems
the
to be
ref
only
here.
guy
He was an
talking.
additional basketball player before. We'll be seeing more of him.
Okay, all right. I was gonna say too. We've been making fun of Graham, but she's actually played by Edie McClurg, who's been in a couple Secret Rights films.
That's right.
They look familiar. What
She's
are
been
they?
in Carrie, and she did a voice in Secret of Nim.
Which Carrie?
The original Carrie.
Oh.
1976. She's like, she's a comedian, and she's been in a million things. She's done a ton of voices. She was in The Little Mermaid voice, in Little Mermaid, Bugs Life, Cars, Wreck-It Ralph. She's all
Little
over the
Mermaid.
place.
Who was she? The cook?
Carlotta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it.
So I mean, she
Nailed it.
like when you see her she's in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. She's like,
Yeah.
in a ton of movies, and I was like, I recognize her immediately, but I couldn't place where she was.
Oh,
I
yeah, for sure.
I just want to let everyone know we're like making fun of her, but we're making fun of the character.
Yeah,
not
the character, not the
not the
actress.
actress. The character. The character.
The sandwiches.
The sandwiches.
But yeah, I don't know. They're playing. The whole thing is that they're gonna play volleyball, and Andrea doesn't give a shit about volleyball until she finds out that if they win the championships, they get to go to Malibu.
In
And
California.
there's a hilarious line that I should have cut out. Yeah, I should have clipped that. I was like, Malibu, and she's like, "Oh my god, Malibu!" And then he's like, "Yeah, it's in California."
Oh my God, it's like,
She's like, the rum?
But I was like, Malibu
it's like
is
4
not.
hours away from San Diego.
Yeah, I was like, Malibu is not San Diego. Yeah.
And by 4, I mean like 2, but
Depends.
Depending on the time, it could take 4 hours.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty funny.
It's at least 3.
Let's see, they
Malibu,
don't have
San
any,
Diego,
they don't
yeah,
know anything about the Southern California.
You get on the phone.
All they know is it's in California. Oh my god, that's where Tammy is. No way.
That's where Rob Schneider is.
Probably.
Nobody said that.
Actually, ever, historically.
Andrea's terrible at volleyball almost the entire time until Airbud starts playing, or Buddy. So.
So
We need to finish this. We talked about it.
when Airbud starts playing, the coach does make a joke about how he's not an Irish setter. We said this, right?
Yeah.
But I did, after the 7th inning fetch shenanigans, absolute shenanigans, I was heartened temporarily by the fact that Airbud only sets really for all of the student competition. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, he does a couple.
He doesn't
funny
do
things.
he doesn't do the titular spike.
I was waiting for that, and it never happened.
So
That was really annoying, honestly. Go
yeah,
ahead.
he only is setting, which I was like, that's actually pretty realistic
Pretty
for what
reasonable.
a dog could do. Because I don't think he could hit it. Well, he always hit it in the basketball
I would say that
net.
when he
but the way
said
that you hit it like down, yeah.
Volleyball is the most believable of any of the sports because the ball is lighter
Right.
than a basketball. There's no dribbling, so
Yeah.
again, Airbud's just traveling all over the
he
court.
just has to bounce it.
How do
And-
dogs do in sand, though?
Not great.
I thought it was funny that every time they show
They
him,
hate it?
They hate it. They hate
every time they
sand.
show him setting the ball too, the ball goes up like in a perfect straight line.
Yeah.
Like he's the best setter of all time.
Well, I feel like a dog could do this much more realistically than some of the things we've seen. But the shots that they choose of the ball hurtling toward his face, like there's no, I tried to look, but I got distracted. But there's no way these credits have the no CGI was used in the
Yeah.
sports scene, right?
Yeah. Well, and like
I didn't look
again,
either.
it's just like in the other one where like every time he caught the ball, the football, it was like whoop. There's like a weird sound effect of it going like
Well,
every time.
and I think that the other thing that makes this fall apart more than those other movies, well, I don't know, not like they captured any of those sports well, but this movie did not understand how to shoot a volleyball match whatsoever.
Yeah, there's a lot of people falling on the ground.
Yeah,
And like, are you allowed to hit it 4 times on one side?
I don't think so.
Or maybe when in a younger one you are? I don't
Maybe.
know, because I just know that in the college level it's 3 because it's USC. Yeah. You know, like that we have to do the whole game.
That's funny. I don't know anything about volleyball. There is a really funny shot of him doing like a block at one point. So he doesn't. They show him doing this, but they can't show him doing a spike.
Yeah.
But they show him jumping up to block a ball. But they show him coming up, and you see his little paws up there, and then they cut away to the ball flying, and then cut back to him, and his paws are still up there, implying that he like floated in the air for at least 5 seconds before knocking it back down.
The best part of this is that you can clearly tell that like it's
like-
just the trainers holding the dog up.
Well,
like
definitely,
Simba.
they definitely
And then
did
they
the
just
like
throw the volleyball at its paws.
the messy fake dog fake arms much more in this one. They
covered
have
his
him
eyes.
covering his eyes again.
Yeah.
He did that in the last one. And they come out in the whole heist time and then
Yeah.
the spike at the oh my god. Well, let's talk about the heist before we get to the end of this.
yeah.
Sure. They get the dog and the bird and all that.
Yeah.
And then they get chased to like a children's merry-go-round that is attached to
That is completely unsafe for children.
I completely forgot about this.
That's attached to a lever that says like slow, medium, ludicrous speed or whatever. And like there's multiple shots of it like spinning faster and like the goons
They are like
"Whoa!"
perpendicular.
And then Airbud is like
Or
it comes back
parallel
to
to
him,
the
he's like,
ground,
I'm gonna
yeah.
make it go a little bit faster, and he like Airbud has 2 hands on this lever like he's a train conductor.
I also was like, I didn't know if I was losing my mind or not, but I felt like once they hit like go on that carousel, it started playing like the Airbud theme song.
It
but-
did. It was a
carousel.
merry-go-round version. And that was one of my favorite parts because I was like, that's so funny that
It was like,
somebody
ding, ding, ding,
took
ding,
the time to do that.
Yeah, I did think
But
that
also the
was
town of
pretty
Fernfield. If you like, there's a place for it.
Yeah,
Airbud's
but
theme.
also it's a merry-go-round because
cool. Right.
carousel has
Fair.
horses. Come
Okay,
on,
fine, whatever. I
Okay,
don't know the difference.
anyway,
Same thing.
a carousel has to be horses only. A merry-go-round can have all kinds
I don't know
of
anything
animals.
about that.
Well, I'd like to live in a merry-go-round society. Thank you very much.
So I do have to say it's ridiculous that they're spinning so fast that they feel like they're gonna die. But I just have to say I've been to this creepy 19th century carnival museum in Paris where they have the creepy bike merry-go-round from the movie Midnight in Paris, which is the last Woody Allen movie I've ever seen, by the way, only because it was nominated for
I
Best
think that's
Picture
true.
that year.
I think that's true for me.
And they have that there, and you can ride it. And so you get on this thing that's like these iron bars that are made to look like bicycles, and you like sit on it, and the pedals actually do go, but the pedals do not power the carousel.
Right.
So the carousel starts moving, and the bikes, you can't really tell this from the movie, the bikes are all kind of like angled in toward the center, and the carousel starts going around, and the pedals start moving, and you have to like keep your feet on the pedals, and you have to pedal because if you it starts going faster and faster, and if your feet slip, which of course mine did because I wasn't going fast enough, these iron pedals start like spinning and your leg will be severely injured.
Oh, no.
If you put your legs down. So then you're on this metal bike seat. You have to hold your feet up, like, otherwise you'll be like bleeding. And you're also leaning in and going extremely fast and feeling like you're going to die. And so when I watched this, I flashed back to that.
You were like, That's funny.
So it is possible to nearly die on a merry-go-round.
I did enjoy that they were seeing like 3 of everything the rest of the time, and they couldn't even tell what people were saying.
Oh my god. Well, was this before or after they took the jewel though? After
This is
right?
after because
Okay,
they were
yeah.
chasing the jewel in his mouth.
And they
the
do a
whole time.
whole Mission Impossible laser.
Well, it's so dumb. So they make Air Bud go through the vent to get there, but then on the way back they make him go through the lasers. Why? Why?
Well, I guess because he can't get back in the vent, or
Why couldn't he just get back in the vent? He can play volleyball. This fucking dog can do anything.
I don't know.
Why would they make? And then it's like the dog makes it all the way through, and then the stupid fucking guy falls into the laser.
Also, they don't bother using any CGI or even, like basic glass and plastic work to make this diamond have any, dimension to it so that it looks shiny and sparkly. It just is a piece of like plastic.
I also love that like every time he went and walked over the lasers, it was like vroom, vroom, as if it
Yeah,
like
it
was
was a
going to slice
lightsaber.
his leg off. or
I know.
something.
I thought for sure his tail was gonna get like shorn a tiny
Like
bit.
the hair was
when
gonna
it
get cut
like,
off,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I don't know. They freaking win the game, and they get to go to Malibu, and Tammy's in Malibu now.
Yep.
She lives in Malibu.
I realized I wasn't listening that well because the whole time I thought it was that they were gonna then go compete in California,
Oh no.
but it wasn't.
This is what I don't understand. They win an opportunity to just go and just only watch the championship. How do they go from doing that to Air Bud playing in the
I
championship?
don't think that you were listening wrong. I think that they were going to go play in Malibu.
I think they were just going to go see it happen.
Maybe.
I'm pretty sure.
So at this time, there is professional volleyball, but there is no beach volleyball in the Olympics yet.
Correct.
Or maybe it was like the next year because this woman who brings Air Bud on as her partner in beach volleyball, Gabby Reese, never goes to the Olympics because her career is kind of like winding down by the time they start having beach volleyball.
Is
Olympics.
it?
But
I'm
she
sorry,
was
that was
a professional, I guess, well-known volleyball player. She
Yes.
married this famous surfer, but she was also a model. She was like
Yep.
the first Nike spokeswoman ever. Like it was a whole thing. So people watching, whoever did watch this movie, would have been like, "Oh yeah, that is probably the most famous volleyball player."
I definitely recognized her.
Yeah, but it was before we had like Olympian volleyball players.
Is that true? I don't think that's true.
It's like by 1 year. I thought I looked it up.
I think that some years it's in, some years it's out. So I think that there was times where there was beach volleyball in the past.
Oh, okay.
I think. I could be wrong.
Well, it doesn't say she's an Olympian anywhere on her Wikipedia.
Yeah, she might have missed the window for
Yeah.
when it was. I just, but yes.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, I'm curious.
But they're playing for some reason. Buddy is playing as her partner. I don't know why. There's no moment where it's like, oh, someone's injured and you got to come in. He's just already playing,
He's her partner. Yeah.
and they're super excited about winning.
So
He finally spikes.
he finally does spike.
Does he?
Yeah.
Ish.
I don't.
That was like the winning.
I don't think he spikes.
Yeah, he does. And they use the fake arm to knock it over the
I did not.
net.
I did not see that. I must have looked away because I was like, he didn't spike the entire movie.
No, he does at the end.
Okay.
But
I'm gonna
to
watch it
spike
again.
back, I feel like you must spike more than once.
I guess. Yeah. I don't know. Stupid. It's
What
stupid.
year was the beach volleyball?
It started in 96. And so she just didn't, it was 96, 2000, 2004, 2008, 20.
Oh, 2004 was the one I was looking at.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that was Misty May and
Yeah.
Carrie Walsh Jennings.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I don't know.
The first year was 96, so maybe it was.
Yeah.
They win, and then
I mean, if your college career doesn't line up perfectly, if it's
Right.
not every 4 years, then that's it.
everyone's so excited, and we get our traditional ending to the film that almost this time this one almost made me spit my water out at the end here, because now the last, I don't know if it's the last 3 movies, but definitely the last one too, ends with like someone going like, Air Bud does it again or whatever, right? And so this was what it sounded like on the previous film.
Air Bud has done it again.
Yeah, like super strong and everyone's excited.
That was at the World Series?
Yeah, that was the World Series one. And here is the one that ends this movie that I was like, okay.
Air Bud has done it again.
It's very much kind of like, I guess, I don't know. Well, everybody's doing it again, I suppose. Not much excitement here.
Air Bud has done it again.
Wow.
Just sounds very like too nonchalant for me. It's a fucking dog playing volleyball and winning an invitational championship.
Yeah, it's like an invitational national, like, professional league. It's not even like.
Yeah, it's nothing fancy.
Yeah.
It's not the World Series
Should've
or
gone to
the World
Olympics.
Cup.
For volleyball, you gotta go to the Olympics.
Should have done Olympics.
They're like, look, we can make Canada look like California for one scene. Only.
Yeah.
Well, also it's confusing to do like they go from 5x5 and 5-on-5, and then he's playing doubles or whatever.
It's like what is happening here? What is happening?
It is the end of the sports dog entries into
R.I.P.
this.
Air Bud.
Yeah.
It really does end with a whimper.
With a
Yes.
he did it again. I guess. He did it again? Question mark. That's it.
That's it.
He spiked back. I'm gonna have to go back and watch. I don't remember him spiking. I seriously was like, he didn't spike the whole fucking movie.
he spiked.
I was specifically watching for him to spike at the end.
That
and
was
he
the winning
didn't spike.
shot.
I'm gonna watch it again.
Okay.
I don't believe it. I don't believe you.
All right, I think it's come to that time.
Rating system.
Rating
Wait,
system.
whose side are you on?
He doesn't remember either.
I don't remember.
We're gonna watch it.
I want to be mad at the movie.
Let's watch it again. Yeah, after
It was a
this.
spike with the fake arm. I swear.
I think that's right.
Anyways.
It does. He does score the
just
point.
feel
He
like
does score the
it's-
point.
But I don't think it's a spike.
Well, it's an ace, but it's
Yeah.
also a spike. Yeah.
Well, whatever. I don't think. Okay, we'll watch it. Rating system.
See, that's why it should have been called Serve Is Animal, even though he never serves.
I like Bark Set Spike. That would
Yeah,
be good.
Bark Set Spike's the best one. But that's like a sub headline on a poster. It's
I
not. It's
guess
not
it
really
could
a
be.
subtitle. Yeah.
Just dog it. That was
Just-
another one.
yeah,
So
yeah.
you can literally make it anything.
How many unattended ice cream cones would you unsupervised ice cream cones?
Oh God, he shared that ice cream cone with Airbud and the bird.
Yeah.
My thought was like, oh well, if he's having ice cream every day, it seems like Airbud's eating most of it. So like he's good.
He's good.
To
He'll be
get
fine.
bird flu.
I love there's that scene where he gives all his money to his sister, and she's like, how are you gonna pay for your ice cream? Like she forgot he won a fucking summer's worth of
supply
ice
of-
cream coupons, and he goes, my coupons, you idiot.
That was Betty.
Who took your coupons?
That was Betty.
Oh, thanks, Noah.
I will kick this off. I'm going to give this 2 supervised ice cream cones as seen in the film. This does nothing. It's a retread of a retread with the I don't know. It's like this is the definition of diminishing returns.
Josh could have called.
Josh
you
could
know?
have called.
I'm surprised they just put in a line. You have a brother, right? Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I love that it's the Wikipedia like plot description says also Andrea
yeah.
reveals that her brother Josh Fram has decided to play volleyball at college for the summer instead of returning
football.
home. Sorry, football at college.
Do we think that these buddies movies are going to be on a distant planet where dogs can talk, where the test pilot dad ended up?
It's the afterlife. Yeah,
The
that'd be
afterlife.
great.
That'd be great.
All test pilots go to heaven.
So that's it too. I got nothing else to say about this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you go.
I was gonna say it's a 2.
Yeah.
It's just so bad.
2 unattended ice cream cones held by a child.
Yeah, it's really bad. The villain thing is dumber than it's ever been, honestly. Even though, well, no, I guess the circus people were pretty bad. But
I
this
think they're
is-
not as bad as the circus.
I think
Yeah,
that
you're right. They're not as annoying.
You could potentially use this movie to like break bad news or tell things, and I think that there'd be like an amnesia ray. Like, seems like, remember I told you about that, and they'd be like, no, I don't. Like, what it was during Airbud Spikes Back? I can't remember anything from that hour and 27 minute period.
It is another movie where, like, I think, you know, Buddy gets taken and no one notices until they're at the game. Like, I don't know, where is he? And then that one moment when Andrew's like, I've got an idea. And like first Noah comes running out and they're like, oh, your brother's going to play? And then the grandma runs out and they're like, what? And then it's the dog and they're like, yeah, a dog. I'd rather have a dog play than a grandma. Anyways,
it's just the plot is so bad. There's so many good things, ways they could have gone with it after the last one. And they just like completely.
I do think they should have just stuck with
Tammy.
the Tammy and Andrea situation, and she should have just gone to California, and they could have been on the beach trying to, I don't know, whatever. Join because of guys, other, you know,
right.
whatever.
I mean, well, okay, so go ahead, do your rating.
I was just gonna say also too, it's like not very good, but also like not the worst thing. It's like fine. It's fine. I could maybe even give it a 3. It's like it's fine. It's totally fine. It's more of the same. I was mostly annoyed that it was just like...
That dog's not spiking.
Yeah. Dog's not spiking. And it takes, 45 minutes before they're even thinking about volleyball.
This is also the least impressive, like, pet training and tricks that happen in any of them. Like,
I suppose. There's still a lot of animals.
I do appreciate it was realistic, though, because the batting... Okay, even though I like that movie more for the plot and, like, what Andrea was going through, that baseball movie, when he batted, was just
the funniest... but it was
offensive.
funny.
It was really funny.
It was entertaining.
This one is like, yeah, he's bouncing the ball just like he did at basketball.
Yeah.
Like, it really tries to get back to reality, but to its detriment.
Back to life.
Because last movie was complete fantasy and science fiction with the super sports gene, and this one's like we can't be doing that anymore, and then it's just so boring.
Does Fernfield, have they forgotten about the super sports gene?
They forgot because they didn't get it.
Yeah,
and all the other dogs ran away. I don't know. I think that's gonna bring us to the end here of Airbud Spikes Back.
Yeah, and so as we've been saying, this is the last Air Bud
of the main series.
There are now Air Buddies, and I think some of the Air Buddies might have sport related things with them, but this is only 5 sports. What are some of the other sports that we had wished
Croquet,
Air Bud,
breakdancing
had played?
Air Bud,
Olympic breaking.
I mean, we keep talking about
should have done
challengers,
hockey.
so he should have done tennis.
Tennis.
There was
if he can do baseball, he can do
surfing.
At one point, there was a hockey stick in his obstacle course that I was like, are they implying that he played
I think hockey would have been hilarious.
Well, the most valuable primate was playing hockey.
Yeah.
So maybe they felt like he couldn't
Fine.
do it. But I feel like tennis...
They're probably like, how is the dog going to hold a hockey stick?
I love the idea. I love the idea that they tried it. They tried all of them. They're like, I don't know, tape it. I don't know, get the dog out there.
Badminton. What about... Shuffleboard.
Billiards.
I mean, swimming.
Billiards. Poker?
Swimming. Yeah.
Swimming.
Yeah.
Poker. Just like the painting.
Just like painting.
Oh, not the painting. Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Rugby.
Diving.
Rugby.
Synchronized swimming. That would be great.
Yeah. Oh, well. But I guess none of those are...
Now they could do breakdancing.
400-meter fetch.
Pole vaulting.
Well,
that would be fucking so
funny. The problem
funny.
is you just throw the discus. You don't actually catch it. What about ultimate frisbee?
That would work?
That would be... Oh, my God. There you go. Yeah.
Anyway.
I think they hit all the, like... They hit most of the big traditional sports, just not like hockey.
I just want to see them throw the dog over.
He's like... And it just turns into like a stuffed animal for a second. Yeah, that'd be great. I would pay to see that.
Oh, yeah. Well, you're not dead, but R.I.P. Airbud.
R.I.P.
We're moving on to...
I think the original one's probably dead.
The original one was dead for the second movie.
Yeah. Well, yeah. See, that's why.
Yeah, he died immediately.
That's why I think that.
He was so confused about playing basketball, he just died.
I don't even bother to look the dogs up
supposed to
anymore.
do this.
I'm so busy looking up all the child stars, I stopped looking up the dogs because I was like, I don't have time for this.
Oh, Keanu Reeves.
So we get our first of the Air Buddies spinoff, just called Air Buddies. And it takes 3 years for this to come out in 2006.
Oh, wow. I thought it was gonna be
Tyler's
longer.
getting excited.
I don't wanna.
I mean,
do you want me to? No, I'm not.
no, don't tell us.
I won't
but
read the. I was just gonna read the tagline, and it spoils everything.
I wonder if they have anything to do with these people or Air Bud.
I would say there is probably some sort of there's probably a buddy cameo, but maybe not anything. I don't know. Maybe not the family.
Yeah.
Do you think we're done with content?
Yes. No more content.
Not until season 2 of
We
Andor,
also
baby.
we also might be mostly done with sports. I feel, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll see.
Oh my god!
Don't. What did you?
Tyler's spoiling things.
Ruining it. Sorry. I don't want to know. Don't tell me.
I'm not gonna.
He's like, oh my god. Okay, don't.
I'm not gonna.
All right. What else?
The other thing, that's it. It's just Air Buddies. And I can't even say anything more because it's all spoilers.
Okay. Well, we'll see you next week. Actually, we've been doing kind of an all over the place schedule, so we'll see you soon.
Yeah.
For Air Buddies.
For the next episode
Yes.
of Air Buddies. And a special thank you to Tyler Boissonnault for joining us for an interview. It was such a fun time talking to him. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Before we leave you guys, just thank you again for coming on this journey with us. It's very funny, I think, and fun to watch these crazy movies. I can't wait to.
We're not even halfway there, guys.
Until we
We're
get to
not
stuff
even
like
halfway
Space
through.
Buddies. I mean, what is even happening there? Before we leave, though, Eliz, where can people reach out?
Yeah, just send us your predictions for what these buddies are going to be up to. sequelrights@gmail.com or find us on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook at sequelrights or at youtube.com/@sequelrights.
And
rate and review us wherever you're listening, whether that's the YouTube, whether that's on the Spotify's or the Apple Podcasts. 5 stars goes a long way to help other people find us. If you've already done that, share those links out on whatever social that you're using. We mentioned a bunch of, if you could do an Oops All Heists, Animal Heists marathon of your own, where you could go back and find,
So many.
just look for pirates or treasure in the title. You're sure to find another hijinks-laced heist movie where an animal foils some underwritten villains.
spoiler alert, we may have more of them coming up.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for being here. Before we, we always like to leave you guys with an AI-generated song so that we don't, I know I literally just played a clip from the film with the song. But, this week I used the prompt write a song about someone who is upset that it takes over half the film before they play volleyball in the film Air Bud Spikes Back. And this is what we got. I didn't change any lyrics in this one other than to change Bud to Buddy. But hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you next time for Air Buddies.
I grab my popcorn, settled in my seat, ready for some action, something fun and sweet. But 50 minutes in, and where's the spike? All I see is Buddy running down the street. Like, I'm here for the serves and the volleyball thrills, but this dog's got me waiting, can't sit still. I came for the court, but where's the game? This movie's got me feeling kinda lame. Where's the volleyball? Taking too long. Over halfway through, and I'm singing this song. I need a set, a spike, something to cheer, but all I'm getting is a dog in his gear. We're past the midpoint, still no beach in sight. I'm over halfway through and I'm singing it right. Was promised a match, where's the sand and sun? Instead I'm watching Buddy on another run. I'm here for the serves and the volleyball fray, but this dog's got me waiting all day. The ball's in the air, but not in this flick. How much longer till I get my volleyball fix? Where's the volleyball? Taking too long. Over halfway through and I'm singing this song. I need a set, a spike, something to cheer, but all I'm getting is a dog in his gear. For the moment, the net's in sight, but it took forever to get this right. If they made a sequel, I'd tell them quick, start with the volleyball, don't pull this trick. Where's the volleyball? Took it too long. Over halfway through and I'm singing this song. I need a set, a spike, something to cheer, even though it took forever to appear. So here's my advice, if you're making a flick, don't make me wait or I'll be quick to click. Give me the spikes, the serves, the game, or you'll hear me sing this song of shame.